Hey guys, Juicy here. Alright, sorry about the wait. Work has been killing me lately. But I had a request to do a cheap and to show a cheap and effective long distance weapon. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys right now. Just got this right here. This is my PVC bow. Let me go ahead. It's actually not completely done. As you can see, it's still white and everything, still. But I figured I'd go ahead and show it to you because at this point it is completely ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead. Whoop. Still kind of getting used to this. All right. Go ahead and show you guys. It's about what I want it to be. So now this has about a 28-pound pull at 28 inches, which roughly is about here. About a 28-pound pull. As you can see, it's kind of flat, kind of grows out. The handle is actually a little bit thinner and kind of wider here. And then just kind of does the same thing. It thins back out. Now, if you guys are curious on how to make these, I can show you guys a video. But I want to go ahead and give credit where credit is due. There's a guy on here on YouTube. He has the name Backyard Bowyer, and he's who I learned about this from. I still have some stuff to do to go ahead and put a handle on here. And as you can see right here, this string makes contact here. So let me go ahead and just let you hear it. I'm sure you can hear that. It's kind of, the string is snapping along that, and that's not really going to work for me. So what I need to do, basically, is from about here down to roughly about here, so where it starts to grow, I'm going to go ahead and wrap paracord around, and that'll silence it. It'll give it a much more muffled sound instead of this little knot clicking on the PVC. So this PVC cost me for 10 feet of it, which is this is 5 feet of it. For 10 feet, it cost me $3. And then to do all of the altering it, you know, flattening it out on some spots and letting it kind of come out. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what I used. I used what's called a heat gun. You'll find these in the paint department of like Lowe's and Home Depot and stuff. Let me go ahead and raise this up a little. I feel like I gotta keep leaning down. You find these in the paint department of Lowe's and Home Depot. This one right here is a Wagner. It's this was about $25. Very cheap and very effective. Some of them get up to $100, but I don't need anything like that. And this worked just fine for me. Basically, what you do is you just kind of mark on your bow where you want where the center is. This is a 60 inches of PVC. I went ahead and basically just marked dead center, and then I marked 2.5 inches out on either side, and that was going to be my handle. And so from there all the way to the tip, I just kept heating it up, going back and forth, until eventually it got really soft, really easy to squeeze and flatten out. Just like that. This side's actually a little bit tighter. You know, flatten out. And then what I did was I just took a piece of board. And the reason why you have the mark here is because once you have the dead center and you have your, like, let's say it's 2.5 inches, you can kind of see where it curves right there. I stopped heating up to this point, so even though this is a little flexible, it wasn't super flexible. So what I did was I placed my board on. I had this laying flat on the ground, and I placed my board just at that point, and then let the board go to the tip of this. It was just a standard 2x4, guys, and then I just kind of put all of my body weight on it, and so the side that was at this side automatically flattened out, and this side didn't, because from the handle up was not heated up. It was still nice and tough plastic, so it automatically created basically just an angle going from here all the way down to flat. And so once I had that, I did the other side, leaving only the center. Now for the center, what you do is whenever you got where you got your handle, you just kind of heat back and forth. Just go back and forth, staying within your lines, and eventually it starts to get that same pliable. Now what you're going to do is you're just going to kind of flatten it out like this so that you get that kind of incurved handle, and it'll automatically, obviously, just kind of create this. And so that creates a really comfortable handle for use. Now, like I said, I mean, look at this. This is just going out and coming right back. It's having no problems doing that at all. So that's basically how to make these things. These are ridiculously easy. Now you see a lot of people are saying, oh, less than $10 is your PVC bow, super strong bow. Well, guess what? Very strong bow. The one complaint I have heard about them is that over time they do start to get kind of a permanent warp like this, but that's actually really easy to deal with, guys. When it starts to get a permanent warp, when you take this off, let me go ahead and take it off a little bit. You can see this has a little bit of a bend kind of on this side, especially where it's kind of like going up some. It's not that hard. When it starts to get more of a permanent bend, heat it up in this area, just a slight, you don't want it to get soft again. You don't want it to get real soft. Just want to heat it up until you can kind of maneuver it, and then you can just kind of bend it back and hold it in place until it cools down, and you'll be back in business. So that's the beauty of these, is that they're very easy to alter, very easy to repair. Like I said, very cheap. Now the problem I have, like I said, is what I was just starting to say was everybody's all, you know, oh, $10 bow, less than $10, less than $10. Well, yeah, the bow and the string is less than $10. But you still got to buy the heat gun. And like I said, that's $25. So now that I own it, every bow I make will be less than $10. But the first bow was $30. So, you know, that's just kind of part of it. Now, obviously, I have tons of paracord. So I have no issue having a bunch of string. I'll, you know, clip this and everything, but I have no problem with all the string. And the PVC, obviously, like I said, $3 for 10 feet, $3 will make me 2 bows. And if you guys are curious how what size this is, I used 3/4 inch. I've heard using an inch to inch and a quarter. Like I said, this is only about a 27 pound pull. I'm actually, and the handle's kind of a little small for me. You can see I can really wrap my hand around. And it's not bad. That's not bad at all. And this is still strong enough to do absolutely everything I needed to. This is, if I was to have a nice arrow here, I could take down a deer with this kind of power. It's strong enough to do the job. It's not that it's inefficient, but if you want a real powerful takedown bow, you need to use a little bit thicker PVC. And like I said, I would recommend an inch or above. But obviously, once you start getting real high, it starts getting kind of hard to hold it. Anyway, like I said, guys, real simple, real easy. And if you guys want, I'll show you how to make it. Like I said, but basically, what I've told you, heat gun. You know, you make your marks, heat gun, just keep going back and forth. It's going to take about 5 to 6 minutes for the whole thing to be nice and soft. And then you put your board on it, and like I said, I basically just put all my weight down on the board, and it just automatically created that little angle going from here down to flat. And then you do the same thing on the opposite end, and then you make your handle the way you want. And then after this, if I want to paint this, which I think I'm going to, it doesn't take much more than just sanding, giving this all a really good sand, and then giving it a good spray paint, and then I've got a bow that looks like a standard bow. I mean, it's going to look like a regular bow. People are going to look at it and think, wow, that's a bow. And so it's still my regular bow that I showed you guys, I think, in the first video, where it's just a standard black recurve bow, very similar to this, except obviously it's metal and everything. That was a $40 bow. So when you count the fact that it's going to cost you, you know, $25 for the heat gun and about $3 for this, tax and all, it's going to cost you about $30. So you're still saving $10. And the beautiful part is that now you have a heat gun, and you can buy as many PVC pieces as you want and make all different types of bows. And PVC from that point will only ever cost you $3. So anyway, that's just a real quick, and I'm sorry, I know it's kind of getting dark outside, but that's a real quick how to make a bow, just kind of describing it to you. Like I said, if you guys are interested and I get enough requests for it, I absolutely will show you how to do it. I'll process from start to finish, show you the whole process. Anyway, I'll upload another video, hopefully in a day or two. I know, guys, I feel so bad. I've been telling people that I'm gonna try and get a video up in a day or two, but things have been just so hectic. I haven't had any time to myself. I'll try and get a video in a day or two, at least with the paracord on here, so we're not hearing the huge snap, and then I can show you guys how effective of a bow this really is, shooting some of my arrows. So, alright guys, well if y'all have any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know. You can always email me, jcsurvival@yahoo.com is always in the description. Otherwise, post a comment, please subscribe, and y'all take it easy, guys.